Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. And I'm going to make this quick. I just want to give a quick testimony. And I'm going to get this one scripture. It says, let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. And just yesterday, at work, and I was, I work at the local airport, at Bush Airport, and I was with a passenger, I'll say, and according to looks, she was an Edomite, but that's just according to looks, and of course we don't go by looks, but we're talking and she's telling me a story. She said happened back in the year 2000 that I guess her husband's mom was dying, I think. And yeah, I think it was that. And she was basically she hadn't died yet, but she was on her way there. And she said her husband was getting on a train, like one of the airport trains that they have to transport you from one terminal to another, especially in these big airports like IH, LAX, I believe Chicago is pretty big. And she said they was getting on the train and it was late at night and it was just him and one other person on that train. And that other person just asked him, are you such, and he called him out by name. By his name. He knew his whole name. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, your mother's at peace. And that's all he said to him. She told me every time she hears that story or tells that story, she cries, And of course it touched bases with me because back in August of 2024, I lost my mom. And I was saying how she was at peace when she left. I've never seen anybody pass away with a smile on their face, but my mom did. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this scripture. Give me a second. think it's Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Yep, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7, starting at verse 7. It says, Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return to God who gave it. Okay, and so that brought me peace. That brought me sanity. It brought me sanity. It gave me a spirit of peace. Simple as that. Because I thought of just thinking about my mom. When she passed away, she was slipping in and out of the spirit world. You know, she would tell me how when she would wake up, she would speak about how she saw my father. You know, she would see her cousins and aunts and stuff like that, you know, and she was just happy. When she woke up, she was upset. Like she didn't want to wake up. You know. And of course, we trying to take care of her, trying to keep her alive and stuff like that. And she was kind of like, leave me alone. Okay. And I don't want to get too deep into that. You know, the point is that we find peace within these scriptures. The Lord has his way, you know, of giving us peace, a sound state of mind, you know, so that our hearts would not be troubled. Okay. It says that, then shall the dust return from the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. We have the comfort of knowing where our loved ones are. Okay. They're with the Lord. They're with the Lord. Their body went back to the dust where it came from. Back to the earth where it came from, and the spirit returned back to the Lord where it came from. And that spirit is at rest and at peace. Okay. Now going back to what I had in Hebrews, I think it was chapter 13. Because I want to speak some more about what this lady was telling me. Was it chapter verse 7? Oh, that's 12. Okay, so yeah. So, going back to the conversation I was having with that woman, with that lady. She told me, she went on, we were talking, because I did give my testimony of my mother. And she was like, yeah, and this man that approached my husband, he was a black man. These were her words. He was a black man, and he had a big beard. And I'm like, wow. And she was like, you can't tell me that wasn't an angel. I say, wow. I mean, I didn't say it, but in my head, I'm like, you right. She's actually right. You know, I do believe myself that was an angel that came to tell her husband that his mother was at peace, at rest, and was okay. and she talked about how it gave him comfort and it gave her comfort. It makes her cry every time she talks about it, but she doesn't talk about it often. But for some reason, she felt like talking to me about it. And to me, that was just the spirit. I don't know what it could be. If it could be the Lord letting me know to be at peace with what's going on, because it's a whole lot of things going on, and just understand that He's with me. And that's the way I'm looking at it. Me as a man, as a man of the Lord, that's the way I'm looking at it. But I know there's a lot to take from this. So, hey, you brothers, feel free to send me messages. Let me know what y'all think. So in closing, I want to give this scripture, going back to Hebrews chapter 13. Let brotherly love continue. We know what that means. I ain't even got to break that down. The main verse is right here. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Okay, and see, her husband encountered an angel. Okay, and gave her that testimony. Here we are 25 years later, she's giving me that testimony. And heck, she could be an Israelite. She could have been an angel. Who would know? We wouldn't know till we get into the kingdom, I guess. But right now, we know that the Lord is speaking to us. Okay? And this is why we stay humble. Like the scriptures told us to be peaceful amongst all men. Basically to the best of your ability, not trying to butcher the scripture, but it's some along those lines. But I could have just looked at her from face value. As soon as she started talking, you saw an angel. You're an Edomite. No, you didn't. I could have been like that, as some Israelites are. But the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the brothers that brought me into this truth did not teach me that. They taught me to be peaceful amongst all people. Because I'm still yet in this day, yet in my captivity. So I got to be peaceful, And I was peaceful with her. And that was before she revealed what the angel looked like. She said it was a tall black man with a beard, as the scriptures describe it. As the scriptures describe the angels. As we are supposed to be. At least as us Israelites. And I'm glad. If that was a test, then it's like I know I passed it. That's like a faith booster. But you never know who is an angel or who is not. The thing is that we get learning from these scriptures on how to live our lives. And let me get that scripture to close out, to be peaceful. Because I can't just quote it and not get it. As important as it is to this lesson, that's not. I think it's live peacefully. Give me a sec. Let me see. I don't know why I don't want to pull up. Try a Google search. Okay, so obviously it's Romans 12 and 18. And I know it's in there, so let's go to it. Let me go ahead and highlight it. Yes, and it says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Because we it's already instilled in our hearts that hey, we don't like Edomites. We don't like these other nations. But because we know who we are, we know what they did to us. But we also know that it was ordained by the Lord, so we live peaceably among all men, with all men, amongst everybody. We stay peaceful. We don't just get riled up like, yeah, I'm an Israelite and you're an Edomite. And no, we don't do that. Even though we got a lot of anger within us, coming into this truth and understanding what we've been through, we know that it was the Lord ultimately that put us through it. Man, and I feel like I'm getting sidetracked and going into something else. But no, I'm not. I mean, this is why I stay peaceful with that woman. And this is why I stay peaceful with anybody I deal with at work. Edomite, whether they look like an Edomite or not. Regardless of what they look like. Because we might be going back to Hebrews chapter, I think it was 13. And it was 12 and 7. No, 12 and 2. Oh, 13 and 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers. Strangers are the other nations. Okay? So, therefore, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. So these angels can appear in any form. Okay? And we have to be mindful of that. That makes this scripture very important. Okay? Because we know the angels are going back and reporting everything that they see us do to the Lord, to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and we want a good report, you know, and I'm hoping I got one. I'm hoping I got one. And I'm not going to, I almost forgot to mention that once I was done dealing with her, and she was like, okay, I'm going to go. She was like, can I give you a hug? And I was like, yeah, of course. You know, and I say, hey, it was a pleasure dealing with you. You know, say, it was a pleasure talking to you and everything. I mean, all that. That doesn't normally happen. These things don't just normally happen out of the blue. So just understand when they do, it could be this scripture. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Anybody you run into could be an angel. Anybody you run into could be an agent. Judged by the Spirit. Okay? Judged by the Spirit. I think I'm going to end it right there. I just had to give that testimony because it boosted my faith. It let me know that, hey, I'm in the right place right now. You know. I hope it edifies you guys as well, and you women as well. You know. With that, I'm going to say, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Barakatham, and Shalom.